Hi lads, this is Steve again from Side Solutions, doing another YouTube video. We're at Manchester 46, Altrincham Church. We've come along to investigate what seems to be loss of the site when we lose AC power, and I know that we've experienced a few problems with it in the past. So what we've done is we don't want to risk losing the site while we're testing the system. So what we've actually done is, if you look here, we've got each one of these blue cables. Each one of these blue cables comes from individual strings of batteries which are below. In this particular case, we've only got two strings on this site. So this cable and this cable connect to the strings inside the battery expansion rack. And what would normally happen is this cable would be bolted onto this bolt, and this cable would be bolted onto this bolt. Now what happens is these contactors are normally energized, and indeed at this moment in time they are energized, the site's on. But what we've done is, as a safety measure, having moved the cables to here, we can turn the power off, and provided that these contactors here remain closed, we know that the site would remain on in the event of power loss. Now, if we turn the power off now, the site will remain on, as I say. If the control system is faulty, these contactors would open. Now, if this happened in real circumstances where the cables were in the correct position, then of course what would happen is the site would be lost. So we're going to just adjust the video now so that you can see that they're closed. You can see that that's closed. To compare it with one of these ones over here, which is actually open, if you look carefully, you can see that it's open. The area you need to be looking at is up in this gap, just above the copper bar. And if you look carefully at this one, you can see the copper bar is touching the contact terminal at the top. So what we're going to do now, lads, we're going to turn the power off, and we're going to basically rely on these cables to keep the site on regardless of what happens here. Keep it there, Greg. Right, Charlie, can you turn the power off on the site up there at the isolator?
What's off?
Right, we've turned the power off to the site now. The site has remained on, you can probably tell by the noise, and you can see that the contactor has remained closed. So if the cabling was on the correct terminal, this one at the front here, the site would have remained on. And even if one of these contactors was faulty, don't forget you've got two, so the likelihood of them both being faulty is very remote. So what we've been asked to do is leave the site connected as it is as a security precaution, so the site will remain bypassed for this time. If you're the visiting engineer that's going to come here, by all means you can turn the power off, the site will remain on. Check to make sure that these have remained closed. If you're confident that the site's going to be okay, by all means move the cables back to this position on contactor number 1 and 2 and turn it off and try it again. I'm reluctant to do it myself because though I'm confident it'll stop on, if it did go off we would have a problem because purely electrical. Now if you look down here, lads, we've got the nuts and washers here that you need to move them back, needs be. I'm going to put these on top of the contactors. At the moment we've got the spring washers off because the thickness of the bar only allows the nut to go on, but it's more than secure. Okay, thanks for watching, and give us a call if you need to. Bye.